I'm delighted to welcome this morning Helen Klimkowicz, who is from Little Mindful Me. Welcome, Helen.
Good morning, Elaine. Thank you. It's lovely to be with you.
So, Little Mindful Me sounds, it's a great title for your business. What does Little Mindful Me do?
Little Mindful Me teaches children of primary school age, between 7 and 11, the techniques and the strategies and the absolute benefits of mindfulness and being mindful, learning about the breath and strategies to help them understand, accept and challenge their behaviour with their emotions and know that it's all right, actually, I can do something about it.
That sounds very simple, but I suspect it's probably not as simple. I'm seeing so many courses for this and courses for that and complicated things here, there and everywhere, but the way you describe it sounds so easy. So tell us how you came across the mindfulness agenda.
Goodness me. Well, it was more my own personal experience of suffering a bit with depression and anxiety through a situation at work, which lowered my confidence, and I suppose, again, keeping it simple, would left me feeling a little bit lost. My work was with primary school children as a teaching assistant for almost 10 years, and I absolutely loved it. And as I said, I felt a little bit lost. My health had deteriorated, and at the start of that, I felt, what am I going to do? I felt a little bit useless, a bit hopeless. Where am I going to go from here? And I had gone through a few years before some mental and emotional health issues with my youngest daughter, who was in her early teens. And through that, what I learned with her, once she was able to get some professional help, I felt, oh gosh, we can't be the only family going through this. And I started up in 2015 a parent support group, to help people locally, parents locally, with children going through the same thing. Just know that they weren't on their own. I created a safe place for them to chat, to open up if they wanted to, or my group is called Tea and Chat Parent Support, and it is literally a tea and chat, and you don't have to chat about the things that you're going through. Just be with people who are going through the same thing. And the most powerful thing that I gained from that was being able to look those parents in the eye and absolutely, in my heart, understand what they were going through. Whatever it is that they said to me, I knew, because I've been there and I was going through it. And it was amazing. Fantastic group, very supportive. We all supported each other. And so that it was something positive. But out of that, the parents, so many of them, most of the children would start having these issues, or they would come out more during secondary school, and all the emotions and the hormones and different situations. And there's so much going on with the youngsters now, the technology and the pressures. But these parents would say, gosh, I wish there had been something in primary school. I wish there'd been someone they could talk to, because I'm sure some of these issues started earlier, but I didn't know, I didn't see it. And it just got me thinking, and I thought the same about my daughter. And then, as I say, when this situation happened at work with my health and I couldn't work anymore, during that time, I thought, God, there's got to be something else. I know there's much more in me. I've got a lot of love to give. I've got a lot of passion to give. And then this thing started appearing on Facebook and goodness knows where, magazines, all about mindfulness this and mindfulness that. And then the thing that absolutely sparked me was mindfulness for children. And I thought, oh, I'll look into that. And, I suppose that's it. I thought, yes. And I trained with the British Mindfulness Institute. and I qualified in mindfulness for children, 7 to 11-year-olds, although it can be tweaked slightly depending on the children's needs or what the parents would like for the children. The youngest little one I've worked with was 4, actually, and yeah, she was brilliant, and the family all joined in. It was magnificent, and it helps young ones, particularly the little ones, and that's why I started with the young ones, because although I experienced it with a teenager and have shared that with the parents in my support group, I just felt that if younger children, first of all, most importantly of all, accepted that whatever emotions they're feeling, it's okay, it's normal for them, and it's absolutely fine, they've done nothing wrong, or because a lot of times the reaction to their emotions and what's going on comes back negatively to them. And as much as, I use the word control when I'm talking to the parents, which, gives them a little bit of a moment, but it's really important, because if the children feel they're not in control of anything, then they lose that feeling, of completeness or how to deal with something, because it's all over the place and they don't know how to deal with it. They don't understand it, and it frightens them. So if they could understand their emotions, what was going on, the fact that they're absolutely fine and normal, and then learn through fun, through silly behaviour, I have to be honest, I can't deny it, there's a lot of silly in me, that they can understand that they can do things to help them feel better. Or if it is really a bit more serious than that, they know they can ask for help without feeling they're doing anything wrong or somebody doesn't understand them. So that's my aim with Little Mindful Me and the little ones, just to help them understand and manage their emotions.
Brilliant. And yet another case of shining through adversity. So, nasty things happen to you. We don't always know at the time why we're sent these lessons, and then as a result of that, you've bounced back and doing something wonderful that's going to help so many families. That's brilliant. I take my hat off to you, Helen.
Thank you, Elaine. I don't do compliments, and but as I said, it all comes from my heart. It comes from my experience, and it just comes from a place of, like most of us, just wanting to try and get a little bit of help out there. If I help one family, to me that's a bonus. That's an absolute achievement. And just the thing about mindfulness that I gain from it is just that art of being. You don't have to be anything else but you. And just working on your breath. We do a lot of breathing exercises there, again, different ways to teach the children. I say, if I'm talking about it, I say, oh, well, we don't sit on the floor cross-legged for an hour making funny noises, because a lot of people think that straight away with meditation. Yes. But, I try and teach the children mindfulness can be absolutely anything. Yourself, it's being present in the moment. It's being absolutely aware of everything around you and just accepting it and being with it. And I feel to teach that gift to children is just, that for me, because I wished I'd learnt it earlier. I've learned, I never heard of mindfulness until I trained in it, but it has given me so much, and it has helped me so much, and I've learned so much about myself and my awareness of things around me, and just simple things. It's not even, not learning something really complicated. It doesn't have to be. It can be about anything. And that's what I teach the little ones, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. If you're helping mum in the kitchen, if you're going out for a walk, if you're playing with your friends at school, just being aware. Gratitude, kindness, self-love, because those were the things that my daughter suffered with dreadfully, not believing in herself, and so many teenagers do. So if I can try and counteract that a little bit, hopefully when they move on a little bit, they can look back at those earlier things that they learned and thought, hang on a minute, I know what I can do.
Brilliant. And it's not just the children, is it? By working with the parents, obviously because of the age of the children that you work with, the parents have an involvement as well. So you're actually affecting the whole family, aren't you? And the parents' self-esteem and self-worth. The number of people I talk to who don't value themselves, don't love themselves.
Yes. Yeah. And this is the thing. It moves on from those teenagers then into adulthood if it's not dealt with, if it's not. And I think really the push for mental health is every year, obviously, we mark Mental Health Week. But there's lots of people like us doing little bits behind the scene. But I want it to be more. I want it to be normalised, that it's perfectly fine to talk about it, to acknowledge it, and it's part of the whole of us. It's not, and they always, I suppose the analogy that's used is if you see someone in a plaster cast for their arm, you go, oh dear, you've got a broken arm. But there's nothing around your head that says, oh dear, you're not feeling very good. You're going through stuff. And I don't know, I mean, I'm not suggesting that we should have stickers on our head saying, we're not feeling great today, but there should be something, a bit more awareness, and just, we've got to keep pushing it, because I feel if that old saying, I'm not that young, but it's, if I knew then what I know now,
yes.
Maybe I could have helped my daughter in a different way. It might not have solved everything, but we just would have handled it a bit differently. It wouldn't have gone on the way it did, the help. Unfortunately, they're under so much pressure, aren't they? But so if, self-help, self-love, understanding, if I bring all of that, and the little games we play, reading strategies, the parents, like you say, they all learn, and they can learn to have a bit of fun through their children, and not feel that, oh God, I'm looking a bit silly here, I'm looking a bit, because actually they're doing it, and if they can take that and keep it and practice it, maybe not every day, because life happens, but if they can keep that in mind, or little one gets into a very anxious state, mum or dad or whoever, I always say, bring the goldfish, bring the dog, bring nan, bring granddad, whoever, everyone can do it, and they can say, right, come on, do you remember what you did with Helen? Shall we try that? Give them a little space and a little bit of time just to reset themselves. And if that can happen with me gone, oh, I've won, it's done, it's brilliant, because then that moves forward and talk to other people. And I always tell the children, do you think you could teach your friends about the rainbow breath, or would you like to read that story, tell your friends about that story, or how about you tell Nan? And they'll come back on the next session. I told Nanny my story. I told and it's like, it's lovely because they're all involved. It's the most fantastic feeling. Sorry, fabulous. I could babble on about it all the time.
Wonderful, and it's so lovely to see and hear your passion. It's really good, and so many people I interview. That it's the passion that drives them, and the heartfelt and the personal experience that they've had that's driven them to do what they're doing, and you're exactly the same, which is wonderful, because if with lots of people out there doing their own kind of specialism, then that's going to help the world, isn't it? And I learned something by what you've just said. I had no idea there was a British Mindfulness Institute or Association, whatever it is. I had no idea. So every day is a school day.
Absolutely, I'm always learning. But yeah, they joined together with the Irish Mindfulness Institute as well, and so they do several courses on obviously mindfulness for your own sort of gain, or to be able to teach mindfulness. And I mean, there was a course for the older children, but as I said, I just felt, no, I think the little ones need to learn certain skills first if they can, because then it will take them forward. And then hopefully, there are things in place in some schools now. I mean, I know funding is difficult, but there are sort of mindfulness and mental health clubs, and so if that can just gain momentum, because I do think it's needed. Children are under so much pressure now. I don't remember it as a teenager myself. you know, the normal things. Oh, do people like me?
Mm.
You know, have I got enough friends? You know, are my clothes fashionable enough? You know, the standard things. But they're on the go 24/7 with technology. They've got these phones or tablets, or, you know, and their TVs, their music, their education, their dictionaries, their everything to them, and it's there constantly. That's not a good thing. I don't personally feel. Technology is wonderful, trust me. For coming from a a technology fear that I had of it, you know, technophobe by heart, and I've come a very long way to be able to be on things like this and learn it. But the kids are just, it's there all the time. And it's hard for them to get away. You know, when I was working in the school, the little ones had, even before the pandemic, were having issues with communication and playing, and, you know, and some children would say to me they didn't even have a little reading book at home because they're on the tablet. You know, why would they need one of those?
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, that's horrid.
Yeah, I agree with you, Helen. And if I had children of school age, actually, I would pull them out. I wouldn't send them to school because I don't believe the curriculum is designed to help children. I think it's designed to put them under control and teach them discipline. Sit there, be quiet, don't challenge, don't ask questions, because if you ask questions, you're considered, you know, a bit awkward and so on. And that's what happened to me at school. I used to bunk off school. More often than not, you know, as a teenager, I was either on the sports field, in the gym, in the swimming pool, whatever. And when I was in lessons, half the time I was larking about because I wasn't interested. And of course, I'd got, you know, a bad reputation. I thought, well, why keep being told off? I just won't go. And then one day, I just didn't go to school, and I left school. I was barely 16, and I went to London, got myself some interviews, and there we are. The rest is history.
So exactly the same as myself.
Yeah.
I just didn't go, especially with secondary school. And yeah, more or less the same thing, you know, and it was hard. It was hard, but at 16, I got chicken pox, actually. That was the best excuse I think anyone would have ever. Just before my 16th, you know, or the exam, before the last lot of exams are going to start, and I got chicken pox. And so I was off for ages. I was really ill with it. Yeah, and then they was sort of trying to get me back and everything. And like you say, you just think, no, I can't do it. So I got a little, same as you, that's really weird. I got a little job interview and off I went. I started off being a hairdressing apprentice. No, I can't do hair. But yeah, I mean, life takes you. I mean, I got married at 18. My husband and I, this October, will be married for 35 years.
Crikey.
And we've got 3 daughters of 30, 26 and 22. And I look at them and I think, no, they're not mine. I'm not old enough for that. I've got 2 little grandchildren. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, when did that happen?
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Yeah, tell me about it.
I still, in my head, I think I feel like I don't know, 30, 25, 30. And I love the energy of the children. I love the honesty of the children. I love their capacity, because once you come to their level and treat them on a level and just talk to them like little people, they're not, not baby talk, or not, because they feel, they think, they have opinions, and if you just take the time to just talk to them and just listen to what's going on, they change. You can see the change because they're thinking, oh, and then I go for it. This is why what I do, I mean, I've got my website and everything, but it is very tailored and bespoke, because I just have that one, when I'm working with them, it's just about them. Brilliant. It's just about that family. And so if they like certain things, I mean, I send little parcels, again, because of this lockdown that happened, I couldn't visit. So I was sending out little parcels in the post. And do you know what, Elaine, actually, it was so much nicer than just grabbing things out of my bag and handing it, because this little parcel, one mum, bless her heart, of the 4-year-old, she filmed her daughter opening my little parcel, and oh, her face, it was just lovely. And it had, to help them with breathing exercises, I use, like the windmills that you play in you get at the seaside or something, and you
Yes.
blow on
Yeah.
them and they
Mm-hmm.
spin.
Yeah.
And so that helps them to blow. And then I use, I don't know, lovely little smelly things, depending what they like, flowers, to close their mouth and breathe through their nose. So it's all these little techniques that they use. And I send stickers, I find out what sort of things they like, I hate unicorns, I shouldn't say that really, but a lot of the children like the unicorns or robots or something, and I find stickers and I send them a little book to work it, because it's really important. I get them to journal and just make a little note. Now, whether they can write it all down or draw pictures, it doesn't matter, because it sort of focuses them on what they've done, what they're learning, and then it gives them also something to go back to and go, oh yeah, I remember that. I had a little boy, and while we were doing breathing he used to bring down his duvet cover with Thomas the Tank Engine on, and he had all these plush Thomas toys, and oh my God, the living room floor was filled with it. But we'd lie down and I'd show him, different bits of breathing, and his toys back coming up and down when his breath was coming in and then going out, and and he loved it. And his mum used to say to me, he would be bouncing off the walls when I'd get there, and she'd say, you're never going to calm him down today. And lo and behold, he would go. And he used to ask his mum if he could take time. He had a little special corner, and he'd say, I need to breathe, Mum. I need to breathe.
Oh, bless.
And off he'd go, and he'd do it, and it's just that. You said to me before, you make it sound so simple. And no, I mean, it takes work, it takes practice, like anything, learning a new habit but just go with it, however it goes with the children, whatever they're feeling, and sometimes they'll ask and I'll have a plan, or, like a lesson plan. It all goes out the window because they change it. But that's what it's about. It's just about being in that moment and whatever you need in that moment. And yeah, it works brilliantly most of the time. Sorry, I love it.
Brilliant. So Helen, how do people get hold of you?
Well, I use obviously my mobile number, but my website is www.littlemindful.me, and all my contact details are in there. Or my email is helen@littlemindful.me. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I think. I'm on Instagram, although, yeah, I'm still learning Instagram, so please forgive me. And my phone number, I don't know, would you like me to give out my...
Don't worry, people can find it on the website, and then when they go to the website, they can see other things about you as well, so I'd encourage them to go to the website.
Right. There's also an appointment link in there if they wanted a 30-minute introductory call and just to have a quick chat, no cost at all. That's absolutely fine. I'd love to do that.
Wonderful.
And they can always contact me and just ask questions and see if there's anything I can do to help.
Fabulous. So that's littlemindful.me.
Littlemindful.me, yes.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Helen.
You're very welcome, Elaine. Thank you so much for having me. It's been lovely.
Been a pleasure listening to you and learning so much, and also what you were saying about the nose breathing. That's what I learnt. But I learnt Buteyko breathing, which is a form of nose breathing when I had stage 4 cancer, and that helped me. And I use that regularly if there are situations that I need to keep calm. The breathing makes such a difference. So that's great that the children learn it early on from you.
Well, because stress, as you know, is really very detrimental to your health overall. And so being able to manage just the breath, you don't have to sit and meditate, but if you can control your breathing and just focus on that for a short period of time, that is so beneficial to your health.
Fabulous. Thank you, Helen from littlemindful.me. Thank you.